So you want to take your domestic Amazon business and share the love around the world with a global Amazon business. Well, our guest is dialed in to the international e-commerce scene, and he has some thoughts to help you get started. From the West Coast to the world, this is FBA Millionaires. Welcome to FBA Millionaires. Good to have you back in. As you know, this is the program that is geared toward helping you pursue your goal of earning a seven-figure income selling professionally on Amazon via fulfillment by Amazon. Hi, my name is Jeff Allen. Once again, glad to be with you, and I'm glad to be with the big fella, this guy here in Northern California. He is just, he's chomping at the bit and always is at about this time. Let's speak to Will Moffitt. Will, big shout out. Hello, guy. How you doing?
What's up, Jeff? Everything is wonderful, man. It's rainy, it's gloomy, but we're making money.
You know, it never rains in Southern California, but Will is up there. He's up there in North Central California. And I send some of that stuff down this way, man, because you know how it is with the whole drought thing. And it always seems like, you know, you have your fires, your earthquakes and stuff, and not enough rain in the Golden State. So share some of that love, will you?
Definitely, I'll share some. Jason is in the Bay Area also,
San
Francisco.
Yeah, man, and he's our guest today, right?
Yes, Jason Kumpf. What's up, Jason? How's it going?
All good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on the show. Really excited to be on here. Try to keep up with the energy I'm feeling. Really loving it so far. So hopefully we can educate the guests on some interesting new things to make some extra easy money on Amazon Global.
Oh, there we go. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear easy, extra.
Right, those are my two favorite words. E squared, easy and extra.
I like it. I love it. Me and Jason, we've been talking a lot lately for maybe the past year or maybe more. Very cool guy. We hung out in Las Vegas a little bit at the Prosper Show, and it's just such a pleasure to connect.
Thanks, Will. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I saw Will doing the 1,000% hustle at Prosper, trying to give out as much money to people as possible. And that was a big impression on me, Will. So I appreciate the energy you bring.
Oh, thanks so much, Jason. I appreciate it. So enough about me. Let's talk about you, Jason. So Jason, you work for OFX, which is a currency exchange. Wonderful company. And you help people transfer money and make money globally. So tell me a little bit about you guys. How does it work, and how do you help Amazon sellers?
Yeah, sure. So OFX Global Payments, we help people transfer money around the world at better foreign exchange rates and give people bank accounts globally around the world that they can receive their Amazon proceeds in and then transfer those funds back to the U.S. at better rates than even Amazon's giving them from the marketplace. So Amazon will charge 3.5%, 4% when you send funds back from your Euro store, your Pound store, your Canadian store, soon to launch your Australian store, which we can talk about later on. We'll do that for, depending on your volume, for 1.5% or less. So it's an easy 2.5% savings every transaction you're doing. We're free to set up, so there's no other costs. So the net to the business is about $2,000, $2,500 in extra top line revenue and profits on every $100,000 they send for about 10 minutes of their time. So we're easy, extra, and free.
Man, there's nothing wrong with that. It is great. Absolutely. You know, Jason, I wanted to ask you a little bit about, you know, you work obviously with Amazon sellers here in the United States, going out wherever they're interested really in selling. But I'm assuming that you probably have certain parts of the world right now that are especially attractive. Who are the people coming up to, or I should say the people who are coming to you? Where are they interested most in doing business right now from what you can see?
So the Americans are most interested in going to Europe, you know, Germany, France, Italy, and the UK, Canada as well, and Australia is launching sometime soon, so that'll be another English-speaking place they can go to. And some clients actually were big Amazon sellers locally in the U.S. They've actually stopped their U.S. Amazon business and are only doing their UK, Germany, France business, Amazon. And the reason is because in the US, there's a lot of sellers and a lot of sellers who know the game and understand the dynamics of being a seller on Amazon in the US. But if you're launched in Amazon.fr for Amazon France, you're competing against local French guys that don't understand the Amazon game as well as your American counterparts. So they're going crazy, growing their business. I'm talking about tens of millions of dollars in revenue.
This is really an unexploited opportunity right now, as far as, a great time and chance for people who want to grow their Amazon business to get started by going global, because really there's just not the understanding by the local sellers in foreign countries about how Amazon works. And there isn't a mad rush right now on the part of American Amazon sellers to expand internationally. Is that right?
100%. That's exactly what it is. And there's probably a few months runway, maybe a year, but the sooner you just launch a France store, Germany store, UK store, the better. Get it going, figure it out a little bit, because it'll take you a little bit of time to kind of get it up and running. But then you're going to be in a much better market than elsewhere, than even in the US, depending on your store and what you're selling. But
Jason, I'm sold. None else said I'm sold. Podcast over. Let's go make some money. No, I'm playing.
Right. It's really that easy, and we make it the big difficult part. Just think of going global as a small business, right?
Yeah.
You used to have to set up a company, get a bank account, or do all this stuff. Obviously, the FBA is a huge portion of making it easy for you to go global, and people just aren't thinking about that as much. It's like, oh, U.S., sell it here. But, all those other elements are gone now. Like, we help with the bank account, done. That's 2 days. You got a, UK pound bank account. 2 days, you've got, a Germany euro bank account. Wow. 2 days, you've got a CAD Canadian bank account. So that's a huge one. The FBA from Amazon solves all your shipping. You don't need a company there. So you're off and running, in a few days. On Amazon Global.
It just sounds like there aren't any barriers to entry anymore. I mean, it really does. I mean, as long as you've got the commitment, you've got the products, and you've got the will to move forward and blow up your business big time, it's easier now than ever. What are the selling trends that you are seeing right now, Jason, from where you sit and from the companies that you work with and the business owners that you work with? What's hot right now internationally, those markets that really seem to be kicking butt at this time?
What's great? It's basically the same things that are hot in the U.S. I think the majority of the world consumers are way more similar than they are different.
Interesting.
There's probably an 89% similarity. People buy iPhones, they need iPhone cases. People buy the Pixels, they need the Pixel cases. People need the headphones. People buy makeup, people buy vitamins. It's the same the world over, really. There's a lot more global uniformity in what everyone's buying, and that's why Amazon's doing so well, right? Because they're riding that wave too. People are buying online. That 20 years ago, that was unheard of, and just 10 years ago, only in the U.S. did you have eBays and Amazons and stuff like that. But that's now everywhere. Right, you've got Alibaba and China blowing up, and it's just everyone's online, and everyone's buying the same stuff. These global brands are global brands selling Nike shoes to everyone around the world. So there's no magic thing. There's no I need to know about this one little thing in this market. In France, they have croissants that are done this way. It doesn't matter. 99% of the products are the same stuff you can buy in the U.S. and you sell in the U.S. So that makes it really easy. And we've got cheap stuff here in the U.S., right? So you can buy stuff, clients are buying stuff from, all these stores that are going out of business, all these retail locations that are going out of business, the Sears, the Toys R Us, all these places have clearances. And we've got clients clearing out the clearances and reselling those on Amazon in France and Germany.
So that goes to my next question. So are people private labeling or wholesaling, doing retail arbitrage?
All of the above. Just like in the U.S., they're reselling, they're private labeling, they're doing the arbitrage. It's the same techniques. That's why it's working so well, because if you've been doing it for a year or two in the US, you're 10 years ahead of the guy in France that just ran a retail store and is trying to figure out how to go online with it.
Got it. I know I had a friend in the past that she had a difficult time, but she actually sold groceries in Europe. She did
Oh,
bought groceries here and sent them over to Europe, and I never
that's
understood
probably
it.
one
It's
of the
like,
harder ones too, right?
yes.
Perishable good. That'd be the only one I'd maybe don't do. So that tells you how easy it is. If you could do perishable grocery, I mean that's what, a 5-day lifespan, maybe 2 weeks max. If you could do that, then your iPhone cases and stuff like that, which last for at least a year or 2 or 3 years, you're going to do a lot better on, right? So.
That's amazing.
Jason Kumpf is with OFX Currency Exchange, and you're listening to his conversation with Will Moffitt and yours truly here on FBA Millionaires. How does your company, and you touched on this just a little bit, because what you talked about the fact that really there really aren't the barriers to entry into the global marketplace that there once were. But what is probably the one or two, or you can even go on, you can talk about this for longer if you wish, the services that you offer that really end up saving your clients, FBA sellers, Amazon sellers, the most money, the types of things that really they're no-brainers when we get to know what your company does?
Yeah, so I'll give you a quick overview of us too, right? So OFX Global Payments, we're one of the largest online providers of international bank accounts and international transfers. We've done over $100 billion in transactions. We're publicly traded. We've got offices in Australia, Hong Kong, US, Canada, UK. So we're 24/7 operations. So if you have any questions or comments, you can always call us. We've got live operators and obviously online and the app. We're regulated all over the world. When you're dealing with people's monies, you want to make sure that everything is regulated. So, and we're all one shop. So we do everything all in-house, no outsourcing. We've got 18 different banks we work with, from Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Barclays, Deutsche Bank, UBS, the top main banks you can think of. So all monies are in those banks. What we do is we give a U.S. Amazon seller a pound account in London, a euro account in Germany or France, a Canadian account in Canada that they can upload into their Amazon Seller Central platform and have Amazon disperse their, let's say, euros that they, once they're selling, their groceries in France, they're making $100,000, let's say a month or a year or a week or a day. And we give them that bank account, and then we transfer that funds back for them automatically and quickly. And we save them about $2,500 on each transfer. So if you're an active client now doing $100,000 a month in France, we can add about $2,500 to your bottom line, really for 10 minutes of their work. So it's a real easy no-brainer.
Yeah, that tremendous savings makes a huge, huge difference. And again, just the fact that it's easier now than ever and you can save money at the same time. Will, a great idea, and one that out there right now that many Amazon sellers are beginning to take advantage of so that they can spread their business globally.
Yeah, and then the other angle, what we offer too, and that's actually a core function, is paying suppliers. So if they're buying stuff from China, from Canada right now, you can buy a lot of stuff. If you're an American group, the CAD US is in your favor, so the Canadian currency is lower compared to the US dollar. For instance, maybe a year and a half ago, it was 1-to-1. So for every $1 you had, you got $1 of Canadian. Now, for every $1 you have, that equals 1.2 something Canadian. So you get a 20% discount basically for anything you buy out of Canada. So if you're buying Canadian goods and selling them in the US, you're getting a 20% discount doing that. And we help you just pay those people in Canada with those from US dollars to Canadian dollars. Or if you're buying directly from China, then we can help you pay for your suppliers in China or really anywhere in the world. That's what a big bulk of our business is small, medium-sized companies paying suppliers around the world.
It's really
or paying
useful.
Developers.
It's like
Now,
having
that's a
your
gem.
absolutely, Will. It's like having your own kind of mini accounts payable department in there.
And the
Yeah.
arbitrage there, the currencies. Oh my goodness, the 20% discount? Never thought about it, Jason.
Oh yeah, that's huge too. So we've got clients, more savvy clients that want to lock in rates, so they feel, the euro's high right now, so they want to lock in increased profits from their European stores now. or lock in lower rates when they're buying stuff from Canada. So we allow clients to do that as well. So you can have this great Canadian US dollar rate for another year plus with us. So that can be a big benefit, because if it goes back to 1-to-1, you're still getting the 20% discount, but then someone who's coming new to the market say, no, I want to buy in Canada, you're getting a 20% discount to them at market, which can be huge too. And our dealers will walk you through and kind of give you a lot of information on what's going on in the currency markets. We won't advise, but we'll give a lot of information so clients can make good decisions, informed, educated decisions, which is just massive. It's just awesome. I love working here. It's a great place. It's a guaranteed win. Everyone we work with, it's a guaranteed win. They only use us because they're instantly going to save money, which is a great, not that many companies can do that. Usually it's pay up front and then hopefully you get a return on the back end. This is don't pay anything. Pay 10 minutes of your time and instantly save.
I can't understand why people wouldn't want to go with your business then, Jason. I mean, really, when you get right down to it, the last thing we want to do is we want to have a headache, something that we worry about when we go to bed at night about growing our business, taking it globally, when we're kind of led to believe that, it's fairly easy. People overseas want these products just like your American customers here do. But, it's not going to be necessarily as easy to do business over there and to take and grow. But from everything that I'm hearing from you, it really is easier today now more than ever when there are companies like yours around. And it's really a godsend. It sounds like a great idea and something that we're going to continue to learn more about as we continue our conversation with Jason. Will Moffitt and Jeff Allen with you on FBA Millionaires. And coming up, our conversation with Jason Kumpf continues after this.
Getting the funding you need to grow your business can be challenging, but our friends at UpFund make it super easy. See how much you qualify for in 30 seconds and have your inventory funded in just days. Check out upfund.io to get started today. That's upfund.io.
The first thing you need to do after listening to FBA Millionaires is to join the FBA Millionaires Club, a very exclusive club. We don't walk around wearing monocles or drinking expensive champagne or wearing expensive shoes or anything like that. It's all in good taste, all in good fun, and of course that favorite word of everybody's, free, applies here as well, because it doesn't cost you a cent to join, and in fact you don't have to be a millionaire to join. All you have to do is drop by FBAMillionaires.com and look for FBA Millionaires Club. Sign up, stay connected to what we're doing here on the program. You'll receive also too some free tips and guidance. You'll receive some updates about what's coming up on future editions of our program, and maybe some surprises we'll throw in there your way as well. And it's all for just becoming a member. Once again, join the FBA Millionaires Club at FBAMillionaires.com. Welcome back to the program. Jeff Allen, Will Moffitt, and our guest, Jason Kumpf. Really enjoying this conversation. We'll find another great guest today on this show, really trying to help us put our arms around this idea of growing our business globally and helping us to understand, too, that it's really a little bit easier than maybe we had thought originally to take our businesses beyond the shores here.
Definitely. And so Jason, everybody, is the man that's going to take us into the international promised land. So I have a question for you, Jason. You talked about a little bit how the products here in America, the people in international countries, they pretty much want the same thing. So for the sellers looking to get into international markets, I know there's different type of, it might be the same product, but different maybe type of plugs. Let's just say, for example, electronics products, or you think they like the same, maybe, okay, we talked about perishables, candies, okay, or maybe chocolates, right? Or maybe that can't be sent in the summer, maybe the winter, but the products are pretty much the same. Let's just say like a pet item. Would it all works the same?
Yeah, it all works the same. And there's a big demand for U.S. products, actually. So we're still, kind of the cultural economic leader. So people like what we're liking anyway. That may change over the next couple of decades with China maybe emerging as the new cultural and economic leader. But right now, you're sitting, as a U.S. based group or seller, you're sitting in a place that everyone kind of wants the same stuff that you want. Think of iPhone stuff, it's American based, even Android, although most of the phones are made abroad. It's really a U.S. based entity. It's Google, and what they're selling. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier than you think. And even for the plugs, we have some groups that sell U.S. electronics, and then they say, they add on the adapter. Here's the adapter to make it work in Europe. Obviously, if you can get the European version, that's probably a bit better. But you can do tests of a product with the adapters. They have those, and those are readily available, and those are cheap too. So yeah,
my mind is going wild here. I'm like thinking like fashion. If you can get European fits over down there, oh my goodness, it sounds fun.
Yeah.
So wow. So okay, let me ask you this. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and it diversifies you too, right? If something goes down in the U.S., you've got other places to sell your goods, right? You could even have it as a secondary where, hey, you're selling it on your U.S. store first, and then if it doesn't sell, then you're trying to sell it maybe up in Canada, or in the U.K. or the rest of the world, right? So it's great to have more people looking at your stuff, for no extra cost. Right.
Got it.
Do that now. You know what I mean? More sales. It's all it's about before someone else does it and gets there before you. Right?
Exactly.
That's basically the message.
Got it. Oh man. Okay. So knowing what if you were an Amazon seller, and I don't know if you are now, what steps would you take to take advantage of the international market? What would you do to conquer?
So if you don't have your Amazon store set up, in Canada, UK, Germany, France, Italy, do those as soon as possible, right? Redo your existing store basically there. Put up at least 10 items on each of those stores and get it launched. Get them all launched, right? That's the big thing is don't have the inertia that doesn't allow you to go forward. So get those things launched. Do the translations. You'll need those for Germany, France, stuff like that. But for UK, Canada, you won't. And that's the big thing, I think. Get it going. And then once you've got it going, then you want to optimize, right? So that's really what we are. We're an optimizer for you. So we can be there from the beginning if you don't have a store. If you already have a store, we can optimize your revenue with our product, obviously. But I would say that's the big thing. Get it going and launch. First to market means a lot, right? Earlier to market means a lot, especially. The reality is on Amazon, the sooner you get out there, the better.
What are some mistakes that people can make in the international markets or just as they're getting in? And maybe these are the kinds of mistakes that you've seen happen over and over. They're fairly common. Are there certain things that we need to avoid out there that other people have done in front of us that we should be learning by?
Yeah, I think trying to maximize from the beginning is what you want to do. Obviously, the VAT tax is big in Europe now. So we've got an integration to help you pay your VAT taxes. So you kind of don't have to worry about that. That happens automatically. Obviously, everyone kind of knows the whole story of that tax and the Europeans getting mad at the Amazon sellers and Amazon not paying tax in Europe, which that's probably the biggest one. And that's probably the biggest headache I think a lot of groups have seen, a lot of sellers have seen. But that's now coming to kind of an end, and there's a lot of automated ways to make sure you pay that. So learning those tools, and that might be one tool you haven't used as a U.S. seller. So that's probably a tool that you need to use going forward. And like us, we're a tool you probably haven't used as a U.S. seller, but we're easy to use and kind of integrate with your store. So knowing those 10-20% difference that you're going to have to adapt to when going international. And using those and using, a lot of the services are really low cost, free or pay per performance. So it's not a real, you're not paying a lawyer $20,000 to make a new entity and stuff like that. You're paying as you're getting revenue, really, which is great.
It might make a little bit of sense here, Jason and Jeff, because think about it, right? Less competition means I do not have to press the PPC button. So even if I have a
Yep.
tax of, let's just say 20%, generally you can be paying 20% for pay-per-click. So if there's less competition and I turn off PPC, it might be the same revenue with less competition. I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I
100%.
love it.
And just the PPC, if you understand that world, you're going to be more efficient at it than maybe your French or Italian or Spanish counterpart, right? Right now in the U.S., people who are on Amazon using PPC to get those clicks and get those buyers, it's a sophisticated market here, right? It's not as sophisticated there. So things like that will be a lot lower if needed at all, if you get in early enough, right?
That's right. I know I had a friend a few years ago that I met in the Facebook group when I first started, and he was generating $300,000 per month in Japan.
Oh,
I was amazed, but I never really I never thought about going international, but he kind of made me want to go that route, but it was so much money in the US market that I just didn't want to bother at that time. But this is just money laying on a table, guys. FBA Millionaires, come on, guys. I think this is something to actually, let's keep it a secret.
yeah. Well, I think the secret is out
A
now.
lot of people want it, right? But it's out. I mean, the reality is Amazon's just totally disrupted the small business international sales process, right? Of delivering goods, which is just amazing, right? It's just so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, jump on it and go global. I call it good, great, global.
Good,
get that
great, global. I love it.
And you can do it. Well, we got mom and pops doing it, started doing a few $1,000s a month in their US store, a few thousand on their France store, and now they're doing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. We've got clients doing over $100,000 a day.
Whoa.
So, yeah, it's crazy. So from the range of just a few thousand to multi-millions a month.
Got it.
The buyers are there. The clients are there, And so the U.S., we've got 330 million people. So start doing the math, right? How many of those are actually on Amazon buyers? Maybe it's 100 million. Europe's got a population of 430 million. UK's got another, 60-something million. So you're more than doubling your audience.
Yeah, it almost makes you crazy for not doing it, Jason.
It's like saying I'm only going to sell to the south, or the north, or the west coast, or the east coast of the U.S.
Yeah, why be content with tens of thousands of dollars a month when you can take and triple, quadruple, or even better than that, improve your stakes in generating that monthly revenue, improving your profits, and really scaling up your business very, very quickly by going across borders and doing it effectively and very easily, really, with the types of tools that you provide, the services that you provide for your clients over there for Amazon sellers. Any particular resources or anything like that, Jason, that you could recommend to us in order to learn more about selling overseas or to help us get started just thinking about selling in the international marketplace, if not from your own company?
So we're putting together a resource hub for going global international. I don't even know that URL yet. That's still being made. But you can go to our site, OFX.com, and there's a space for online sellers and kind of read more about what we offer and how we do it and sign up. You can use my name. You'll get an extra discount, Jason Kumpf. And you could say actually FBA Millionaires or Will from Upfund, and you'll get a discount. And can go from there.
Cool.
Definitely. Guys, this reminds me of the book. I don't know if you guys have read it, but The Blue Ocean Strategy. This was an awesome book, and it talks about how when everybody crowds up, and sometimes there's no money to be made. But if you look at the blue ocean and how clear it is and how you see nothing in the horizon, that's the opportunity to make tons and tons of money. So if you guys have the opportunity, go check out that book, Blue Ocean Strategy. It's by W. Chan Kim and Renee. Oh, I can't say the last name. Last initial M. Check that out, and you guys wouldn't be sorry. You might want to apply that to your international strategy and kill it.
There you go. I think it's a great idea, Will. And Jason, we can't thank you enough, man. A great conversation. OFX.com is the name of the website. Jason Kumpf has been with us today to tell us all about, giving us his perspective about getting into the international marketplace with your Amazon business. You might be content with how well you've been doing right now, and you might be thinking you're on easy street, but for heaven's sake, if you have the energy, if you have the resources, if you have the will to do it, to expand your business and go global, why wouldn't you do it? Think about the other lives in your life that you could change, other people's lives in maybe your family or loved ones, or maybe your community. You could change with the extra funds that you generate, the profits that you generate by having a successful, wildly successful Amazon business that includes not only your customers here in the United States, but elsewhere around the world. And Jason, just can't thank you enough, man. We appreciate you jumping on with us today. It's been a great chat. We hope to have you on again.
Thanks so much,
guys.
Jason.
Really appreciate it.
You're the man.
He is the man. Will, another great job. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed it. This is a great show today.
Thanks, Jeff.
That's a wrap on this edition of FBA Millionaires. Thanks again to our guest, Jason Kumpf from OFX Currency Exchange. And don't forget to check out his website at OFX.com. And don't forget, by the way, to stop over at iTunes, will you? Do us a favor. Share this program with someone that you know you like. Even share it with an enemy. I mean, it could be anybody at all. We would appreciate that. By the way, give us a nice rating over there on iTunes if you like the show. And if there's something else that we could do, maybe something that we could a topic we could explore in greater detail for you. If you've got a suggestion for a guest to have on this program, you can drop us a line. And Will, I think they can do that simply by, correct me if I'm wrong, visiting our website at FBAMillionaires.com. Isn't that right?
That's the right place, Jeff. Head there, drop everything you're doing now. Go, www.fbamillionaires.com.
and do that, and you'll be helping us, and you'll be helping yourself, because we want to make sure that we can help as many people as we possibly can. This show is for you. This show is about our businesses, and that's working Amazon, of course, and really opening up great opportunities for others and taking your already successful business and taking it to new heights. That's what we're all about. So for Will Moffitt, I'm Jeff Allen. We appreciate you listening, and we can't wait to talk to you again on another edition of FBA Millionaires.
Let's kill it, guys.